Monday Night Football as usual. I'm here with my colleague, that is Mike Kor, together with Ibrahim Campo Jata and then Yero. We'll be talking about very important issues happening in the world of football. And today we might, touch, a little bit of European, football. I know some faces will be happy, and some faces will not be happy.
That is biasness. The day we should take it is over.
All right, Bayi, welcome.
Sarah, thank you very much once again. Saying good evening to our viewers, those who are seated at home and those following online. Telling them that welcome back to another edition of Monday Night Sports.
All right, thank you very much. Over to Ibrahim Campo. Jata Campo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sarah. It was a good evening to our wonderful viewers. Then we welcome them another exciting Monday Night football action.
Of course, the clause or the phrase you use, yes. Yeah, it's good to start that way.
It's good to start that way.
Very well.
Okay, all right. When we start, we will be looking at, our first point of discussion will be, the issue of Coach Tafa Mane. We all know that Tafa Mane have left the shores of the Gambia back to Liberia, where he will, of course, according to conversation I had with him, undergo an A-Lanchin, coaching training for him. He said he's deemed it fit that, the environment is very conducive there, and he already, paid for that course. So that's the main reason why he left. That is Serekunda Football Club. On his Facebook page, he wrote, "Our path may change, but the memories we share will remain in my heart forever. Goodbye, Serekunda FC." Coach Tafa Mane. I was really touched, when I saw it, because at first I was confused. I didn't believe it, because I saw him, standing, next to a taxi. It seemed he was on his way going. Then I saw the post. I said, no, that is the picture there. So I had to call him, and then he told me, I have really left Serekunda. So it was something, that shocked me, and I know even fans of Serekunda FC, it also shocked them that Coach Tafa Mane has left company.
Yeah, Coach Tafa Mane has left. It was absolutely a surprise to everyone, because even me, like you mentioned it, I just saw it on posts that he said that he definitely moving, but. I saw him in a taxi, but that's a Gambian taxi. I said, this is a Liberian taxi. Whether he's in Liberia or elsewhere, but the taxi is not a Gambian taxi. He was in Senegal.
He was on his way going to Liberia.
Liberia, yeah. Then the message he would call Serekunda United, Serekunda FC as a family. Then from there I say, wow. Then but what he mentioned also is genuine, because he have already paid for his A-license course, because the last time he was here, he said he have a lot of offer in East Africa, North Africa, but due to the license that he did not have, he cannot coach there. Yeah. So maybe the time is up. Maybe that's why he have to go. But he was coaching Serekunda during the first 5 games. He was not there. He was gym. Then after that, he quit from gym. But he was struggling also, struggling. But the owner had to believe and give him a car. Also tried to motivate him. He also bring some players. From there, they were out of the town.
So it was good that he leave a very significant landmark there, come back home, a form of relax. It's good that he did not sit completely. Still now engage his brain, engage himself to make so he tried to develop. We all know, to be honest, as far as the Gambian football is concerned, the first division is more technical, but the second division is very physical. So if you have young players who cannot maintain that physicality of the second division, no matter how you possess the ball, you cannot achieve your aim. So that is the difference. Possession of the ball can help a team when it is at the first division, but not in the second. And secondly, I also appreciate his move simply because he's acquiring for a knowledge, going to upgrade himself. Because A-License, as far as I had people saying, and as far as I know, I only had Gambian mentioning one who is Sangdong. So if he is going for that, my dream is one day or the other, our Gambian ex-players or our own Gambian citizen take over the senior national team to make sure they coach them, because most of these countries now doing best in Africa, their own citizens are the one carrying them. This is why I really appreciate his move of going. Good luck to him. Let him acquire more knowledge. One day or the other, him or anyone to come and take over the national team.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, it's kind of like a mixed feeling to say, in a sense that Tafa was seated here. I think I personally posed him some questions as well.
Yeah.
One thing that is for sure, the break that I will concur with my at a certain point, and at a certain point I'll disagree with him to say, okay, when he took a break in Liberia, I totally agree. It was good that when you go to the club side, you've done extremely well. Set the bar so high, come back to national, of course, duties with the federations and everything. But when he came here, he made mention that he has already paid for his payments in Liberia.
Yes,
that's what he mentioned.
Yeah.
Then if you have a very good, of course, manager, why should you go outside for second FC? Whatever the case is, you should not have gone for that deal. Because when you go for a second division, you expect challenges. You are a top coach, of course.
Yeah.
You have to climb. You have to climb the ladder. Personally, he made mention that he had offers in other parts of Africa. I mean, coming back to Gambia, and again to the second division, not even the first division. If you have a manager and a very good advice, you will not take, no matter how, because you are receiving like close to $50,000 if you convert to $100,000 we are talking about here. You are coming to receive now, let's say $15,000 or $16,000 per month. I mean, I don't see that idea to be wise. With all due respect to Tafa, he's on top of things, and of course he knows the game. But if you want to still engage, you still want to engage your brain, go to these clubs and it happens. There are a lot of clubs here in this country, even in the fourth division. Technicalities is a problem. There is of course scoring, maintaining the personal relationship with players. That is the man management of players. Because if he made mention of one line when he was here, that was, when I came in, there is something that I changed, that is the mentality of the players. And of course how they govern. And that is exactly what is affecting the country here. He could have used that break that, you already knew that I'm going to, of course, for a Lansing in due course, maybe in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months time. Why would I help other clubs that are not established?
But many coaches will be attracted, to the project, that Serkunda FC has, because it's a club, that has a foreign ownership, and then we see, he's also investing, on players, investing on resources. So any coach, in the Gambia here will be very, very attracted, to the club.
At our level,
yeah.
If as a Lansing holder, or people like Campo, people like Mai, you and I would be attracted, but somebody who is there, who has seen bigger projects, those shouldn't move. We know the Gambian level. Whatever the project is, Serkunda FC started, of course, without a very good training ground, without a field of their own. So whatever big the project is, still now, you have to climb with the project, knowing fully well that I have a Lancet to attend at some point. Because he said it before signing the contract. When he was here, he didn't sign for Serkunda FC. So later, that program, he said, I have registered already to acquire my Lancet. That is my A Lancet. You went, you are going there. Anytime they would call you. Why should you go and commit yourself at Serkunda FC? You know they'll do it. And in fact, it pays off because concentration was a mutual understanding. I mean, whatever the contract, we know it's a contract. Yeah. As far as we know, Mai was there. He asked, we follow up, we knew.
Yes, but I also believe that some contract have clauses, that well, I can come, but this and that. Those are things that they can.
Now, with those clauses, if I would agree with you, those clauses would be now. If at a certain point I have to go for my Lansing, I will quit. But again, as a top coach in the Gambia who've won the league, a lot of experience, would you go and leave your team with 3 points against relegation zone in the second division? Would that do well, or would that speak volume for you? No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it will demoralize the players. And it will traumatize them psychologically.
The players, psychologically, they will say, okay, we have a top coach who is well experienced and everything, who was here, but why does he left? The project, to believe in the project again, sometimes it will in fact affect the players down. It have to step down. So I think that to me, personal, that's my opinion. It wasn't wise from Tafa. If at all he get maybe a manager per se who manages him, or maybe we call him anyone, because we know coaches most of the time in the Eastern Bloc here, or in the Western Bloc here, we don't care. It is about, it's me and you. Yeah, the manager himself. But I think which is very bad at that level. Taffa should have get a manager who will definitely work with him to make sure that your advice, signs your contract, give you, where you should head. It would have been easier for him just to concentrate on the field work than in fact doing other things. I doubt if he does, but then I don't think. It would have been then, when you come into the, for an interview at Star TV, it would have been, okay, would you call my manager, perhaps, to arrange those interviews and so on. So these are some of the things that I think about it. But aside that, I wish him all the best of luck in his, endeavors to acquire his A license, of course, in Liberia. This is what we want. But then, it should have been even Gambians in the Gambia. He should have acquired his license because he has sat in the 4th division. But those who in fact got C license and D license, you stay for ages without getting the opportunity to go in for other license as well. One, the economic, economic factor, and it's a bit expensive and everything. So if you have it elsewhere, why not? So I think the effects should pave way to make sure that young coaches realize their dreams at a certain possible time, because coaching also, it's a career, and your career have to be at a certain point. You cannot wait until you are 60. You go in for your A license and say that before you start.
Okay, talking about A license, we've also seen that is Omar Cisse, who is also now pursuing, his A license and is currently in Maldives, for the program, which I think is also very, very good. Campo Omar was here, in one of our programs, and then, it's always good to have ambition, and I think, it is challenging, challenging in a sense that, Gambians coaches need to step up, and I believe, the move that Omar Cisse took and the move that, Mane took, these are very brave moves. Campo.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, because I was even contacted even the correct. Well, still, it's not that final. That is Jonathan. He even told me Jonathan, assistant coach, is also doing that the same course with him in Bangladesh. He even told me about. He's a type of guy that he loved to learn, because when he was in America, in Canada, Roscoe, he had his lens in there. That gave him chance to coach the Gambia under 23 and to be the assistant coach of the Gambia. But still now, you know that that's not enough. Like Mbeko mentioned, that one day Gambia will take their own national team. A Gambian will be a national team coach, and all the category will be given by Gambian. That's why Gambian have to go and learn. Since Sandon did his lines in 1995 in Brazil, still now you don't see no Gambian have a line. Just recently we see T.Y. have his pro lens, and it is a song also having a lens. But we need more. So Gambian don't like going out for a challenge. But some we've seen like Taffa Mane or Montese. So we want to see more, and even coaching in our neighboring countries like Senegal, Guinea, or Tunisia, or in East Africa, because we see Senegalese coaching like Njai and the Yusuf Dabo coaching in Tanzania and Zimbabwe, others. So we want to see Gambian coaches also learning to have that A-license to coach in the sub-region. So it's a very good move from Omontese. So we expect other Gambian coaches to follow their footsteps. Like Michael said it here, one day our national team will be coached by our own people, and this is a high time for them to go and learn. So maybe the coach, the assistant coach, the team manager, everybody will be Gambian. They all have their license. So who is going to coach them? They are not fit for the job.
Yeah, Omar Cisse is fine. It's a good move, but also since from that of the under-20, I haven't heard of Omar taking a bigger responsibility again to achieve anything else. So, but that of Taffa is a special talent. Yes, we know we have good coaches here, but among them, they are the best ones among them, because some of them are naturally gifted. They can just see things and read it easily. Some of them, it takes time to understand something. So, which is very good. Let them keep the momentum, keep the spirit, all that I'm praying for. Whichever football administration that a Gambian coach will meet here, make sure that administration, let them support the Gambian coach the way they support foreign coaches who are coming to support the Gambia here. Because even we have our own Gambian brothers coaching the senior national team. If that administration football body in the country here did not give them that support, which they give the foreign coaches that are coming here, Sarah, there is no way that they can achieve anything. And this is the problem that we have here. Most of these football administrators, they prefer giving a bigger priority to foreign people than that of our own citizens, and it's wrong. Look at Senegal today. Either they like it or not, that's the fact. We have to take example from there. It's their own citizen who is doing it. They are taking a bigger money paying him. Why is it that if we reach to that stage, because sometimes we give other people chances here when Paul Potts left, We give other Gambian coaches here. But the fact was, what Pol Pot was paid, they were not paying them. And why is it that those people, their responsibility is higher than the foreign coach? Because their family is here, their friends are here, and they need to solve those people their problem too. So I wish they focus on them. They are going to acquire knowledge. I wish them luck and success, and pray for that one day they come and coach the national team.
I know what you're talking about, meaning that, the treatment, that we attach, to foreign coaches, is different with treatment that we attach to our own Gambian coaches.
Yes, the treatment and the privilege. And the monetary aspect. Yeah. So any privilege that you are to give a foreign coach, you should give a bigger privilege to the citizen. Because the foreign coach possibly might come with his or his family, but what about he may not have that friends as that of the national guy? Yeah. He have more friends to discuss with. Sometimes they will be in a situation, they trust you or trust Pyro, they will drive and come, anyway, Pa or Sarah, this is the problem I am having, what is your idea? Because they believe like, you are a friend to them, you can give them something because they are human. Sometimes they can be traumatized, they can be under stress, they need close friends or close family members who can console them. But I really, really pray that let them give priority to any nationality who is coaching the Gambia here, the privilege they are to give foreign coaches and the respect they are to give them, because most of them, they are always focused on the monetary aspect. And football is not by foreign or anything. Believe in your own citizens who have the knowledge they can deliver.
All right. We've seen Omar also pursuing Elansi.
I'm not happy at all. I'm happy for Omar, but I'm not happy in a sense. I'm happy for Omar in the sense that he is climbing the ladder. Of course, moving on the right direction. I'm not happy in a sense that why should we be counting the number now? At this stage where we are in football, we want to make sure that the league is in another level. We want to see, of course, our own brothers handling the first division, and of course, trying to explore the raw talent that we have here. You need to get the knowledge. You don't need to know get the technical know-how. I mean, if we are here to say Omar, Mane, you called maybe San, try to call, of course, Jameti Boy. We're talking about four. That the whole country, that I'm talking about the 4th division, 2nd division, 3rd division playing respectively. This is why we looked at the number of goals that they are scored in the league. It becomes a big problem. But again, I am happy for Omar because I think Kuyaga said then back Fekalafa, I mean, I think he have been there. He's been definitely grinding and dining for football. That's what he knows. What else? If you get the opportunity, why not? You go. But I think this opportunity should not be a rare gem for Gambians. It should definitely be an open to every Gambian who have the passion, to venture into the game. Let the coaching bracket be more open than a kind of closed bracket, whereby we will be only recycling coaches into national teams like the 4th division. You take the national team under 20. You take a coach there, take him to the female side. From there, that's the same person you're going to take to the under 23. You take it. It's become a kind of cycle that you're cycling these coaches because the number of coaches that are licensed are minimal in this country. At a certain point, if you qualify now to another level, like to the CAF Championship, sometimes you have to go and hire a coach to sit on the bench. We have seen when Fortune, of course, qualified, won the league they wanted to go, they have to bring in somebody to sit on the bench because it's a CAF criteria. So why should the 1st division teams, be struggling to have coaches or who are licensed, of course, to always represent wherever they are? I think this is a big question mark. This is why I'm not happy. As a Gambian, we need to have more of these. We need to have these opportunities because we have interacted. I personally interact with the Senegalese, of course, federations, trying to train coaches where they bring refreshers year in, year out. For coaches and young coaches who are aspiring, giving them the opportunities, companies supporting. This is why it is not only the federation again, but companies should support people. We have seen Mahmoud, who of recently went viral and said, okay, I wanted to go for studies for my license here and there. Few Gambians came up to help. But we need to have more people outside there to go and realize their dreams in the coaching arena, not only to stand. Because every team that you're talking about, all the academics, some of them is just like, okay, I am an academic coach because I have the passion for football. But what license do you have? At a certain level, you even don't know what is the path that you will take to develop these young boys. What are the criteria you would have to say, okay, the developmental fee. This is why we have clubs exploiting other young Gambians. If Mbai have an academic today, develop his players,
He don't have the technical know-how. He don't know where to go, where not to go. Real de Banjul, sorry for using Real de Banjul as an example, can sign his players and then claim developmental fee while it was mine. So I think this is why I am not happy. I'm the least happy when it comes to, of course, coaching, because I'm a victim as well. I mean, we need to have, this coming over and over, year in, year out for Gambians to definitely realize their dream in the coaching arena as well. Not only coaching per se, but even sport administration. Because not the university that is offering sport administration here. But if you are to mount certain positions, the requirement would be you must have a bachelor degree in sport administration or sports science. So sports psychologists, we need to have all these things available. There are a lot of domains that need to be explored. We know of Leipzig was giving scholarships to Gambians. It was never published. We know of Hungary, of course, that was also giving scholarship. I think one of our key follower, of course, Abdullah Ka, who was the then Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Youth and Sport, will be. I'm a witness when I was in his office about these, countries that are giving scholarship. Recently, we're talking of Hong Kong. But why is it that Gambians are not realizing their dreams in this? It's a big question mark. But anyway, we have to congratulate, of course, Omar, and then I hope that he will go to the higher heights.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we still now on the coaching issue. As we already have also learned, Jonathan was supposed to be in the Gambia. All right, was supposed to be in the Gambia. That was on Sunday to sign his contract with the GFF, and then fly back to Kenya. Is he around?
No, I don't think he's
because
around.
We haven't had any information.
Because right now the Federation President is not around. He's in Tanzania, and the Secretary General also was not around. He was in Bangkok, that is Thailand, Thailand capital for FIFA Congress. Yeah, Bangkok. Yeah, he was there too. But I don't have any information from him. But maybe they want him to complete his 2 games. From there, then he come to Gambia. From there, he start work because of June is just fast approaching. In 2 weeks' time, and some days, Gambia will be playing against Seychelles, against Gabon too. But right now, I don't have any sign of him because of nobody spotted him at the airport. Gambia now we're in the world of social media. Many even at the VIP area, you just see maybe this steward will just try and snap in the Gambian coaches here, but we don't see this. Still, we don't see any sign whether the coach is in the country. But for me, I believe he's not yet in town because of due to my understanding, the Federation President is not around. And remember, if you have to sign, the minister have to visit, the Federation President have to visit, the technical director, the Secretary General all have to visit in the form of a ceremony and a press conference too. So maybe they are waiting for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for those updates. But we also know that his team, Gor Mahia, did an outstanding achievement, achieving winning the 2023-2024 league title, which I think is a plus for Coach Jonathan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big plus for Jonathan, and I hope that he will have a replica, of his season, of course, when he comes to the Gambia, because he's done remarkably well. If you look at, of course, his the statistics he's got this year with his with his team, you can know or you can see that during the interview that I saw with the media, of course, it was really something that I think it worth listening, because he's so much passionate, he's so much dedicated to, of course, the welfare of his players, of course, and giving always credit to the players and, of course, what he's achieved, and forging ahead. What have passed, we move on to the next level. So that is what you normally do. It's a stepping stone. You step one at a time. And of course, if Jonathan had that mentality in him, I want to believe if he would replicate that one and be and allowed, of course, to play, his mind, he will be able to definitely do a lot for the country.
Yes, Sarah, I totally disagree on Campo's opinion here, in a sense that the country is not run by an individual. The FA, the Football Federation, also is not run by an individual. This is why each post you have it twice a day. So in situations like this, the football administrators in the Gambia should show seriousness, because there are certain meetings you can avoid them by assigning someone to go there.
Delegating someone.
Exactly. There are not meetings whereby you should present there by and force. If situations like this come, the nation is in need. ignore the per diem as a person, assign someone to take that responsibility.
Why do you mention the issue of per diem there?
No, are they traveling free? Sarah, they are not traveling free.
I know. Anybody going, you have to get per diem. But what I'm saying is, why do you have to mention it?
Who is specifying where the money is coming from here? Did I specify where the money is coming from? No. So I am not interested whether FIFA or CAF. What I said is the fact. I said, and I will repeat, that in situations like this, delegate someone to go, and you ignore of the per diem, because the nation is in need. The nation calls. Ignore that, and you work on this. There is no time for us about going off individual things, collecting per diem and come. Forget that. Give other people the chance. Bring the coach, they sign, and we know what to do. Because these things, this is what this stop us in the African Cup of Nations. Poor preparation and late preparation.
And
it's approaching the same thing.
Was it confirmed by the FF? You know that the coach
was supposed to be here on
Sarah.
We know that news is not coming from
Sarah, do you know why that lack of news is coming? No.
What we had is journalists, making update on social media that the coach is supposed to be here on Sunday.
You know for that
but
one.
We don't know whether those reports were verified reports.
I am not specifying on those reports. But lack of transparency of selection of this coach is what the Football Federation of the Gambia shown to the general public. And that's the fact. Because if they were transparent on this selection, they would have published at least 2 names that we can compare. But there is no transparency on that. Who know what was the process? Who know how did they identify him? And it's the responsibility of the government, because that office, you are serving the general public. If you cannot be honest or transparent to the general public, relinquish your power. But you cannot be there. We just see that this Jonathan is the media that exposed it. And it's the fact. They cannot come and deny it. So at the end of the day, for me, yes, it's a speculation of coming Sunday. I don't have that problem. But there was tendency of truth. How can the media expose the coach? And that became the fact. So then there is tendency that he's coming on Sunday should have been the fact. Because of this individual travelings, I can know that it's part of the delay. Let them forget about that. We focus on Gambian thing. Is the state in need?
Yeah, I think I will agree with Mike, to say that, the Federation is not definitely doing justice to the general public. This is a national call. We have been long waiting for, of course, a replacement for Thompson Fett. Here it comes. We said, okay, the rumor is still, we could still say there is an iota of truth in saying that, the coach that has been identified is Jonathan. Because the Federation, what they should have done, they definitely didn't do nothing about it. That is to say, okay, these are the number of people that applied, but because of this criteria A, B, and C that we factored, we have now decided to, shortlist 2 individuals, or 3 or 4 or 5. Those 5, the most outstanding one would be, or the most qualified, is this one. And because of this and X, Y, and Z, Jonathan is going to be given the opportunity, of course, to head the national team and so on. Once you've done that, at least that's the kind of communicate that you respect the people that you are serving, saying that, okay, you have to tell people what you are at. But if you're just quiet, okay, we said, the media again come out and said, Jonathan is expected to come to the Gambia on Sunday. Of course, you still keep quiet on it. Sometimes being quiet means consent at a certain point. So this is why, when they were quiet, everybody thought, yes, Jonathan would be here on Sunday. So the reason why Jonathan is not here, one, we said the president is not here, the secretary is not here. And as Mike said, should we always be asking, in fact, if the president is traveling, no worries. Why is the vice president? Delegate powers to him and said, okay, the vice president could have stepped in and said, okay, because this is a national issue, only one person.
Because it's a national issue, the president stay back, then the first vice president travels.
It's either way. Either the president travels, or and then of course assign the first vice president to go and do the signing and everything, because all the clauses would be written down, everything would be paperwork. It's just a matter of the formalities. Just of course bring the media and tell them that yes, we have signed. Some few questions goes in, and you sign on behalf of the president. And if that cannot go, you can also, as you rightly said, delegate the first vice president or any other person to go for the meeting as well. But only one person, because maybe still now we will still speculate on that to say it is because the president is not here, the secretary general is not here, and maybe we are not in fact ready. In a nutshell, we are not ready as a country. When are we playing our next game?
On the 7th, possibly.
I mean, come on. When it's on the 7th, we are talking of. When will this coach come and then prepare himself, try to get used to his players, in fact, try to know their names and so on, pronounce them well. There are a lot of formalities that we need to bring. Not only coming as a coach to say, okay, this is where you need to play, this is my style of football. There are a lot of things. Coaching is beyond the line of just seeing somebody standing on the touchline.
You want to throw some light on what Mbai and Yero said?
I want to throw some light, a little bit, because you know, if FIFA have a Congress, the federation cannot. It federation supposed to be represented. The federation cannot send his secretary alone there. He's always go there with the secretary and they select another one. This time he went with Arad and Jersey and so on. They have to be there. You cannot send the first vice president to represent you or the second vice president, because the first.
You telling me it is mandated.
You have to be there.
On FIFA Congress, that president has to be there.
Yeah. And now the first vice president, that is Bakary Kejame, is the one in charge of the office right now. Yeah. Ibu Faye, the second vice president, is the charge of the league. The third vice president is charge of the under 20.
So would Bakary Kejame not, have it, to at least, welcome the coach, sign the deal and other stuff?
He can do that.
Yeah.
I agree on what based on that. Yeah, he can do that, but best known to because as you mentioned right now, the media is just speculating that Jonathan should be here on Sunday. Jonathan will sign a contract and go back to Kenya and come back again. That's a waste of resources.
Maybe even Jonathan is the one that postponed his coming.
Yeah, maybe. But if Jonathan was here, people definitely the government will spot him at the airport, because here you're going to escape unless you just came down and you go to the other door without the authority or the GRA on the immigration will not check you. Yeah, but when you just arrive, when you just arrive here from the immigration area and the GRA area, before you just come, people will just point it out, and you will see maybe just official waiting for him, welcoming him, because you don't know the Gambia.
Yeah.
That must happen unless you have a VIP treatment. Just like even Rudiger was here, he have a VIP. He came, he's dead, but people saw him that he's coming, but they never tell him anything. He just comes direct like that, and people spotted him that Rudiger's in the country. So Jonathan cannot escape from the Gambian media, or if from the Gambian media. Any day he steps his foot here, his picture will be out from every Gambian will see that Jonathan is in town. But right now, I actually that maybe, from my own thinking, that maybe the president is not here right now. The secretary is not in town. But definitely, it has to be quick, because of time is not waiting for us. Because Gambia is supposed to play in 2 weeks' time, some days. Then we have to have a coach and I know this coach cannot select his own team. He's going to be selected by the team manager and the assistant coach. Yeah, because he don't know the players. But maybe his next qualify round, he will select his own team. But this time he cannot select his own player, because time is not waiting for us.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Now we've also seen the Minister of Youth and Sports. They also bid farewell to the Gambia amputees football team, who went to Cairo in Egypt to participate in the 2024 Amputee Africa Cup of Nations, which started on the 18th of May. The ministry supported the participation with an amount of $2.6 million to cover flight ticket, accommodation, and feeding. And the team were, of course, defeated 4-0 against Ghana in their opening match of the Amputee Cup of Nations on Sunday evening. The boys will face Algeria in their second group stage match on Tuesday.
They played Kenya? I think they played Kenya today.
They played today?
They played Kenya. They played Kenya and defeated Kenya today.
Yes, Sarah, I wish them luck. They are still part of us, regardless to their situation. They are still part of the public. So the way we support the senior national team and other categories whom you know that they are not physically challenged, that's the same way we should focus and concentrate on them. The minister did wonders by at least supporting them with that amount, and also congratulations to the ministry, because why I say so is we can see within these 2 weeks what they do. They've just supported the handball team and now come on this amputating team. At least this is also what can take us forward. Let nobody be marginalized. Anyone who is taking part in sports, as far as sports is concerned, and he or she is to represent the Gambia, regardless of the situation of that person, he or she should be given that focus and concentration. I wish them luck in the competition.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sarah. I think, it is definitely very, very good to say at least the amputees as well, you know, kind of sort this, despite their, you know, the challenge that they have, you know, physical challenges, they are still given the opportunity, of course, you know, to represent, you know, to represent the country, and this is also a motivation for those that that are also physically challenged, because nobody knows. You never know what your tomorrow may bring. So we will thank, of course, Bakari Baji and his ministry, of course, for always supporting, and this time, of course, supporting, you know, the physically disabled people to participate in, you know, a memorable, you know, tournament for these people who will be participating in the tournament in Cairo, of course, in Egypt. We spoke to Pa, I think is Pa Barrow is the media officer, and today's game was the first game they lost, of course, to the against the champions, and today they were able to bounce back and defeated Kenya 3-2, which is, I think, which is a very good one. Yeah, at least for them to get claim their first victory, you know, in the tournament, and we wish them success. And this is what we are saying. You know, what the federation, of course, through the National Youth Council need to do is to make sure that any sports, I mean any sports that is, you know, taking place, there are regulations, because they need to regulate all these sports in this country. You cannot, you could, for example, you cannot have a sports, but say, I just register sports because I want to be part of maybe the Olympic Committee, and said, there's a sports that we registered, and you don't have any program. You don't, those people, when they are traveling, it will be very difficult for you to. But any sport that is actively participating and have their programs going on and their programs running, if they're traveling, I think, you know, they should be, the ministry should listen to them very well, at least support them. It's because most of the time we know football dominates, and of course it's the most fame, we all agree. But again, those other sports are also Gambians that are playing the sports, like of, you know, handball, as Mbai said, you know, volleyball, wrestling, and other stuff. There are Gambians who are there. But if they are active, I mean, I don't mean you register like you said, okay, we are, for example, chess federation. You don't even organize chess competition, and you want to go out for competition. It doesn't make sense. You have to compete in the country. Then if you come there, this is where the National Sports Council have to play. At least come to play and make sure that they regularize everything.
I think some of the issues that, you know, these people have with the National Sports Council, you know, is most of them don't regularize themselves, all right? Most of them have what we call a handbag association, all right, where you know that you don't know where their office is. They don't even, you know, organize
competitions.
Because if you organize it in competition, you don't only organize competition just in the Greater Banjul area, because you have to decentralize it. Most of them don't used to decentralize it, and at the end of the day, they want to tap into funds. So how can you get, you know, those funds? It's going to be very, very difficult.
No, that's where the role of the National Sports Council come in. This is why the National NSC is there to regulate all the sporting discipline in this country. You have to, this is why they go in for their AGMs, send in their reports. You cannot organize any AGM without the National Sports Council.
How many of them have their AGMs?
But if they don't, what is the responsibility of the National Sports Council have the power, of course, to make sure that sports is being taken from those individuals running it and then giving it to the National Sports Council to have an interim committee, recognize a few individuals, bring them to come and have an interim committee that will regularize that sports before they will go for a congress and eventually be given to people who can run the sports. So the Sports Council have the power. They are given, it's part of their mandate to regularize any sporting discipline. So any sporting discipline that is, as the phrase you use or clause you use, handbag association, I think I will blame totally the National Sports Council. Because if you see Mbai with his, you know, his association, he said, this is mine. Because we have seen a lot of associations that are, solo people are saying that this association, we are the owner. In fact, they are the face of that association. It is not work. It belongs to them in a sense. But the National Sports Council know it very well. They know that very well, and some of them now we're seeing for example, those associations they're having voting right when it comes to the GNOCs. That is when it comes to GNOC will compromise because there's kind of link between that high echelon there or that group there. So if you are not part of the link, you will not understand. But obviously, if you're there, you will understand that yes, this is exactly how it rotates. When you are there, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Even if I'm having a handbag association, you dare not to say anything because I'll vote for you during the AGM or the Congress. So these are some of the things that I think the National Sports Councils need to definitely delve into, so that others also should benefit from going to participate outside. This will motivate, of course, more sports, more youths rather, and to make this country an active country. Because according to, of course, research, the WHO, this country is one of the countries that have the least active people in Africa, and that is the truth. So we are seeing a lot of non-communicable diseases are coming. So we are only focusing about football. It's about only certain sports that we are having. But if you have more youths being active, I think it is definitely to the well-being, and it will save a lot of money for the country. The monies that will pump into the health could go to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and then we pre-finance their programs as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a quick update. We've seen Alassane Mane scored his first to help his relegation struggle inside Odense, secure a crucial 2-0 win over Randers FC on Sunday. Odense had not won in 8 matches before Alassane was put back in the starting lineup. They now won their last 2 matches with Mane assisting and scoring as a starter. We've also seen Ser Sibi is awarded his club Voltes Verona 2023-2024 Player of the Season after an impressive campaign with the Italian Serie C side. Sibi kept 12 clean sheets in 34 league matches this season for Voltes Verona, having played 3,015 minutes in those games. Ser Sibi, you did wonderful.
Yes, he has been doing wonders. He was absent from the national team because we all know that due to some problem that the last African Cup of Nations, because he was forcing himself that he's supposed to play, then he have to boss out with the head coach of the game. Since that he have never been called up, but he's definitely helping his Serie C a wonderful job. Although they did not promote to the Serie B, but they have been outstanding, having a lot of clean seats. So we need to see him back to the national team. It's up to this new coach, because he has been doing well, better than our current goalkeeper, that is Babacar Gueye, who is playing in Bulgaria and even lost his first place before coming to the African Cup of Nations, and that also even contributed in the Cup. You can see he wasn't having that playing time too. So that also affects us. But we need to see our goalkeeper also. As any goalkeeper that is coming to the national team, you have to be competing too. So we need him back to the national team. So let's see, but congratulations to him. For him, because it's very difficult to see a goalkeeper winning the player of the season. We just see it at the top level. That is Arsenal goalkeeper. That is the Spanish goalkeeper winning the Golden Glove. Yeah, because you know that is a top league and higher level, and that means something. Yeah.
Okay. Before Mbaye comes in, we just would deeply, apologize to our followers on the social media, on Facebook. I know they're experiencing, interruptions when it comes to the connection, but we're doing everything possible to make sure that, you are able to follow the program as smooth as possible. Mbaye, we've seen Ser Sibi being player of the season for this club.
Yes, this shows that, actions speak louder than voice, because he saw his competency. He saw what he can do. And I still disagree on Campos' conclusion of saying he was forcing his way to play that contribute to his being dropped. In some certain situation, I, for one, if I want to be on top of things, I will make sure I dig deep to have my facts.
Yeah.
Among the things that caused Ser Sibi to be dropped of going to Ivory Coast, he was the only player who was bold enough and talk to the media and say how bad the football administration treated them in Cameroon. That contributed to his being dropped, because they have the fear that this bad and poor preparation that was on, if they are back there, the boy will again hit the nail on the head. If you don't want to be criticized as a leader, relinquish your power. That contributed, because facts are here. At the end of the day, this is the problem we have on Gambian players. Some of them don't believe in their talents. Some of them don't believe in what they can do. They tend to worship some of these football administrators. We've been seeing that many of these players who comment about these football administrators, they have been sidelined. It happens to the under-20. A player goes up to the airport, you have been dropped because of you say the truth against the football administrator. Where is the justice? You cannot enslave your players. This is why he is dropped based on factual. He saw them, yes, I'm still in love of the country. There is still time for me. I have the club side. Is he the only goalkeeper outside?
No.
He played wonders and gave the best. That shows that his club engagement was more tense than the national team engagement. If we want Gambian football to go further, let's allow people to speak their mind.
Okay.
Actually, I think Say did extremely well. We saw him, of course, when he represented the Gambia. His willingness, of course, to play for his motherland. But I know there was a lot of hitches here and there between him and, of course, the the federation and, of course, the team managers here and there that we know very well, because he was part of those as well who spoke out. And since then, they were in the same boat. That was one, not because he had, of course, poor form or whatsoever. But we know we had as a goalkeeper who was definitely coming on as the first choice, who lost, of course, his place in his club. That is, of course, Babukar Gay. He was not playing week in, week out for his club. He came in. We see the confidence. His aerial command men were very weak. He was conceding goals that could have been avoided. But if you have to give, of course, the Devils it's due. No matter what happens, even if today it's because of the work. This is why perhaps today I would say certain words to Campo or say certain words to Mbai. But left to it alone, if we are in the street, we would not have sit and said this is Mbai or this is what have Campo had done. So the reality is when we are at work, we sometimes have to tolerate each other. I think the national team have been lacking this kind of toleration. That of course what we are all known for as a country. That is of course tolerance. We are religion tolerance, and we said Gambians are people who have a lot of tolerance. But I think that is not, in fact, reflecting on the national team. Because whenever you speak out, you are sidelined. Not only the national team, but again, for that of Say, we all know he is a very strong lad, strong character. He can go. He can, of course, break the barriers, and he deserves more than this. If you look at his, his compose on everything, he can do it.
I would tend to disagree with you and by core. I don't know.
It's not because of it's not that view that came out, because
we know that
she was not alone.
He once spoke against
Mursero was part of this, and Jaguar was part of there, was speaking. We have Beck, even Sona was there also speaking. Mursero was there speaking. Even Toldo Alajo was also there speaking. But the main problem, I don't want to bring what is inside the national team.
No, tell us what is inside national team.
Our game against Tunisia,
we want to know.
He's supposed to play because of Babakar Gay was absent. Okay. Because he was having a flu. He came with Joe. Our first game, because our first game he was not there against Mauritania. Toldo faced. Then the second game Toldo faced. Then Sensibis was trained, and this guy was having a flu. He's supposed to come. So he requested that he's going to play against Tunisia. He's supposed to play, and he have a boss up with the coach there and insulted. And if you want to fight, I don't want to come here.
We know.
Yeah. So what happened from there, they tell him that you're not going to play. He just bulls everybody. Even damage. And he was even out of the game against. He was even out of the 18 against Guinea. Even against Djibouti, he wasn't even there. Yeah. Then there was a lot of things going on. So they told him that you are not going to. As far as Tom said, as far as I'm the coach, you are not going to play for the national team. That's why you have not been called. But in that video, so many people make allegations that they go all out, but they have been invited for them. That's the main problem. But let's die by the gun. Tom is not more there, and Ajimura is the head coach. But we know that he's better than Babukar Gay for me. No. Yeah, because his performance speaks for itself. Because Babukar Gay went to Bulgaria, he lost his position. That even cost of the African Cup. You can see the goals that they're scoring. Very cheap goals. Yeah, so that's why I say, but we have to just buy that because the country is number. If they call me again, come back. Yeah,
if they will call me.
Yes, I have an opinion there because here I played the game.
Yeah. No, we know exactly what.
No, but the fact is here. I played the game. Yeah. Is that understood? Yeah. But with coaches that I pass through in anything, I will always tell them, you are not selecting me. It is my performance that is selecting me. Because if you take me to the training ground, I did not work on what you want, you will not select me. It pays dividends. Some of them will be angry, left me out. I still go and support my teammates. At the end of the day, they will not be competent. Other people will ask, where is this guy? They go and manipulate and say he's injured. Now, here, they should not look at the players they should not look at the players' attitude.
No, I'm saying, is it ideal for a player to force his way that I'm going to play by force? You have to play me.
I cannot conclude on that because I was not there.
That's wrong. That's wrong. But
we
know exactly what happened. It is more of very good. There are a lot of build-ups.
Exactly.
Before there are a lot of build-ups.
Before that happened, that is the last action. So they cannot just take that person and paint it black. No. when a problem happens, you don't address the problem. Address the root cause of the problem.
What was the build-up? Yes.
The build-up, when actually, as Campo said, you know, say this guy Babukar was not feeling well.
Yeah.
We all know he was not. In fact, you know, he didn't play. It should have been, of course, say, you know, everybody. In fact, everybody thought that yes, Say is going to play this game.
Yeah.
Even the players, this is why, in fact, most of these players stand beside, you know, behind him to say, yeah, this is not justice. Justice was not served to hold his own opinion. I would blame Say at only one point. This is what he did was try to manifest his anger at that level.
Yeah.
But aside that, whatever the case is, the federation was there. They you know, well-educated people, professional people. You'd have called the young boy. It's the talent that we need, as I said. Cancel him and then get the best out of him. You cannot only sideline any player who misbehaves, you sideline him and just keep quiet about him. That is where we have problems.
That is injustice.
That is not done. If you are a manager, you have been manager. If one of you, one day, I think I could remember when I came to your office and in fact misbehaved, you didn't sack me. You would have sacked me. You wouldn't have get who we have in today. What you did, you called me in the office, closed the office and said, let's source as a family. I think these are some of the things that you need to play. These are cards that you say, you misbehaved, we agree, he should not have done that. If he come back to his senses, maybe it was because of anger that triggered him to do so. Ask the federation, of course. Tom is not you employ Tom. Call the boy, call Tom, you know, try and work peace in between. Because it is his talent that we need. To me, he was definitely at a certain point not served justice, and of course that triggered him to react. And the only thing that I will they just bring out and paint it was, you know, he reacted and insulted. That was the only thing.
But they did not say what happens.
What happens was,
and he was not the only player who speak. And how many players speak? And apart from him, all those players are not even called. All of them are not called because of what they said. The fact. Look, we have a track record here that GFF, as a player or as a manager, anytime you say the truth against them, you are sidelined. The records are here.
Of course.
And that's the fact. You see here, we don't look at individual interests here. Let's look at the interests of the country. The office, they are manning. It is their time to manning. And if their time is up, they will move, they will not uproot the office. No. The Gambia remain and the office remain.
Okay, yes.
It happened to Onana in the World Cup. He criticized the team. Then you have to go home, no matter who you are. If you are in the national team, then you criticize your own national team. No, later, he was forced to call him. But
they have to say no. Rectified. Those people are using football terminology. They don't are rectified.
In the Portuguese squad.
I'm happy he used the example. Onana was sent, but he was recalled because they need him.
Benzema was sent.
Yes.
Now, look at what Cameroon was said. Now, look at what Cameroon did. Look at what Cameroon did. No, look at what Cameroon did. When they were playing, they know that they need Onana, regardless of whatever the situation is. He was sent out and brought back. They still have the patience, allowing him to complete his games at Manchester United.
That's why
when he came, when he came, they still have that trust and confidence in him. The goalkeeper that played in his absence, when he come, he regained his starting spot. Because you see the potential in him. Give the player its due.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we'll say good evening to our followers on the Facebook. Maguma, thank you very much. Maguma is asking whether the coach is in the country or not. Well, Maguma, we haven't got any information to confirm that the coach is in the country as at now. Well, the GFF Finance Director, Kemo Sise, who also, owns Dutch Lions, is in... is it UK?
UK.
Yes,
UK.
UK.
Yeah.
He is together with his player Wahab Damfa, who is currently undergoing trial with Bolton Wanderers, and which is also a very, very good move for at least Wahab, and we pray for our Wahab to at least succeed in his trial so that we can see him playing for
fantastic, just fantastic. When I read the news, it was like, I was over the moon. It is definitely, in the right direction. If you're able to get from Gambia to UK, You know, this is a big. I mean, it's a big heads up, guys. We have to accept the reality that is, of course, huge difference because of the level that they have. You know, the bar that they have raised when it comes to football. We know, you know, England is just not. You know, in football they are second to none per se. If we are able to get even in the second division, or in fact in the third tier football, trying to establish and develop yourself. One, there are rules and regulations, there are immigration permits and whatnot, everything. If we are able to get that sorted out, that is from the Gambia straight there. I mean, that's a big heads up because most of our talents could not serve or could not play in UK simply because of maybe immigration policies here and there, but not because of their talent. We have seen when Musa Barrow was linked to of course, some Premier League teams in UK.